You're in charge of a site where failure, just isn't an option. Drones are showing up in your inbox, in your budget meetings, maybe even on your fence line. This is where we make sense of what's hype, what's real, and how to actually use it.
Yeah.
Welcome to On the Fly. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jordan. Today's episode is all about a powerful new alliance that's shaping the future of site security in Africa. We're talking FlytBase and HDRT.
Mm-hmm.
If you're responsible for securing a large property, an infrastructure asset, or a remote site, this one's gonna hit home.
So here's what's going on. FlytBase, the folks behind the autonomous drone software, have teamed up with HDRT, an authorized DJI reseller and a repair center based in Africa.
Okay.
And together, they're deploying docked drones to automate routine security patrols for sites all across the continent.
Now, just to be clear, when we say docked drones, we're talking about drones that live in these weatherproof stations.
Right.
They recharge automatically and they launch on their own. No human intervention needed.
Exactly. I mean, think of them as your aerial security guards, always ready, always watching, and always recording.
Wow.
This whole partnership is about enabling safe, scalable drone patrols for everything from commercial buildings and farms to critical infrastructure.
Now let's take a step back for a sec. Why does this matter so much?
Because traditional patrol methods are facing some real challenges. Rising labor costs, slower response times, and, coverage blind spots, especially in large or hard-to-access areas.
Right.
Manual drone ops, they help, but you still need a trained pilot on site, often for these repetitive, predictable flights. It's just not sustainable at scale.
That's where autonomy steps in. When you automate those flights, you eliminate all that friction. No manual takeoffs, no on-site pilots, no missed patrols.
Yeah.
And you get a live aerial view of your site every day, every night, on demand.
But look, deploying a docked drone system isn't exactly plug and play. You've got to select the right drone hardware, secure BVLOS approvals if you're flying beyond line of sight, ensure data security, and integrate the whole system with your existing VMS, your security protocols, your IT network.
And that's why this partnership works so well. HDRT brings that boots-on-the-ground expertise. Hardware selection, the system deployment, DJI certification, all the support.
Totally.
And then FlytBase brings the autonomy software that powers everything, from scheduled patrols to those real-time alerts.
With FlytBase, you're not just, flying a drone. You're managing a fully autonomous aerial security system.
Right.
Features like Fleet View give you centralized visibility across all your sites, and geofencing ensures the drone only flies within approved zones.
Mm-hmm.
And then things like pre-flight checks, fail-safes, and flight logs, they keep everything compliant and totally auditable.
And this partnership also supports operations that go beyond visual line of sight, BVLOS.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a huge deal for covering large sites or remote locations. So HDRT helps secure the regulatory approvals.
Okay.
And FlytBase makes sure the tech is reliable enough to operate safely without having eyes on the drone.
Okay, let's paint a picture. So imagine a high-value farm or an energy plant. Instead of sending guards to walk the perimeter every few hours, a drone just launches from its dock, follows a pre-programmed path, scans the site with thermal or visual cameras, and returns to recharge, all on its own schedule.
Wow.
And if something's off, say movement in a restricted zone, boom, you get alerted in real time.
And it's not just alerts either. With FlytBase's go-to-location feature, you can remotely dispatch a drone to any GPS point of interest.
Right.
So when an alarm triggers at some remote substation, you're not waiting for someone to drive there. The drone is already on it.
It's fast, it's efficient, and it adds a whole extra layer of intelligence to your security ops.
Plus, with integrations like FlytBase Shield for secure communications and guest sharing for authorized third-party access, the system stays secure, even when you're not the one watching.
So now let's talk local impact. This partnership is really important because it brings locally deployed and locally supported autonomy to Africa.
Mm-hmm.
HDRT understands the terrain, the needs, the realities of operating in the region.
Mm-hmm.
And then FlytBase brings the tech stack that makes all those deployments scalable.
And the timing is it's perfect. Drone adoption is accelerating so fast in the region.
It is.
Enterprises are actively exploring how to reduce manpower dependencies, improve response times, and meet all these growing security needs.
So together, FlytBase and HDRT are creating this turnkey solution. Hardware, covered. Software, handled. Deployment, trained. Compliance, in progress.
Right.
Now you just focus on the outcomes. Safer sites, real-time awareness, and 24/7 coverage without that 24/7 staffing.
Exactly. So if you're in security leadership, operations, infrastructure management, it's time to look at docked drones not as an experiment, but as a real upgrade.
Exactly.
Especially when you've got partners like FlytBase and HDRT making the path to deployment just that much smoother.
That's it for today's episode of On the Fly. Fly far, fly smart, fly on the fly.